Hi, third grade, it's Mrs. McCarty. Today we're going to do elapsed time, standard MD1. Today is May 13th, 2020. Let's do just a quick review on telling time to the nearest minute. So remember these things. Where is your hour hand and where is your minute hand? When you're thinking of your minute hand placement, you can count by 5, starting with 12, or the nearest number, you can multiply it by 5, and then count by ones if it's to a nearest minute. So let's look at letter A. Look at that hour hand. The hour hand is the shorter one. It is between 9 and 10, which means it's not to the 10 yet. So it is 9 o'clock. Look at that minute hand. It is not quite to the 6 yet, so I'm going to count by 5 starting with 12 and go count by 5 going to the 1, so and then the 2 and so on. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Then I'm going to count by ones. 1 after the 5, 2, 3, 4, making it 29. So the time is 9:29. Let's look at clock B. The hour hand is just past the 8, but not quite to the 9. So what hour is it in? 8 o'clock hour. Good job. Okay, starting with the 12. And again, counting by 5s. I'll this time mark it. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20, and then we have 21, 22. So what time is it? 8:22. Okay, let's look at clock B. Clock B, looking at the hour hand, which is the shorter one, it looks like it's right on the 11. But if you look very closely, it's not quite there yet, which means still in the 10 o'clock hour. This time, instead of going all the way around and counting by 5s, I can know that right on the 12 is 60 minutes, which then means on the 11, if I multiply by 5, that's 55, right? Remember I said you can multiply by 5 with the number that it's closest to? And then we have 1, 2 after the 55, which makes it 57. So the time is 10:57. Okay, going to our next slide. Elapsed time, which also can be called time intervals. When finding elapsed time, you are finding, or a time interval, you are finding the amount of time that passes from the start of an activity to the end of an activity. So here's an example. Michael begins reading his book at 8 o'clock a.m., which means in the morning, right? He stops reading at 9:04 in the morning. How long did Michael read? So we have the beginning time and the end time. So in between is the time interval or the time elapsed time. Here's some steps and symbols. So step 1, determine the start time and the end time. Create a number line. Label the start time on the number line, and then we're going to create mountains, hills, and rocks. Well, those mountains, we're going to use this symbol like a triangle. That's going to represent 1 hour. Don't forget 1 hour is 60 minutes. The little hills, it's just a curve, that can represent both 10 minutes or 5 minutes. And then a dash or a dash, a small symbol, is just going to represent 1 minute. Okay, so going back to the event. Michael begins reading his book at 8 a.m. He stops reading at 9:04. How long did it take Michael to read his book? So, step 1, I know my start time and I know my end time. And I have a nice line created for my number line. So I'm going to start with my start time at 8 o'clock. And then I'm going to start creating my mountains and hills and minutes. My first one is a mountain, which is 1 hour, and that gets us to 9 o'clock. And then I'm going to do 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, which gets me to my end time, 9:04. Then I'm going to look at my mountains and my rocks and see what do I have here. I have 1 hour and 4 minutes. So that is how long Michael read his book. That's how long you guys should be reading every day, 60 minutes, right? He added a couple extra minutes there. All right, here's our next activity. Homeschool started at 7:40 a.m. We finished our assignments at 10:05 a.m. How long did it take us? Might be about what you guys are doing. So there's my start time, my end time, and my number line. So my start time is 7:40. And then I'm going to draw a mountain, which makes it then 8:40. I can draw another mountain, making it 9:40. But can I draw another mountain? No, another mountain would take me past the end time, so I need to draw a hill. A hill I'm going to make 10 minutes, putting the time at 9:50. Another hill, making it 10 o'clock. Remember, after 50 is 60, but it's right on that hour at 10 o'clock hour. And then I can go to another hill. I can even make it a little smaller and know that it represents 5 minutes, making my end time at 10:05. So putting those all together, I have 1 hour plus 1 hour plus 10 minutes plus another 10 plus another 25 minutes. Putting that together, I have 2 hours and 25 minutes of elapsed time. That's how long it took to do your homeschool assignments. All right, thinking of Mrs. Hellenbold, her newborn baby was awake from 5:41 a.m. until 7:26 a.m. How long was Eli awake? I have my start time and my end time. Starting with 5:41, I draw a mountain. 1 hour gets me to 6:41. Can I do another hour? No, that would be 7:41. So I go to hills, making it 10 minutes, 6:51. 5 minutes, making 6:56. Then I'm going to go to the closest hour by adding 4 minutes, because 4 more minutes to that 56 is 60, and 60 is an hour, putting me at 7 o'clock. So then how much more time do we have to go? Another 10, 7:10, another 10, 7:20, and then 5, 7:25, and one more, 7:26. Now I need to put all that together. So I have 1 hour and 10, another 10. So I'm going to put all my 10s together. So I have 3 10s and 2 5s. And how many 1s? 5 1s. So we have 1 hour, 10, 20, 30, those 2 5s making 40, and 5 1s, 45. 1 hour and 45 minutes, little Eli was awake. All right, you're going to try some on your own on IXL T7. Remember to follow these steps. Get a piece of paper, draw your number line, use mountains and hills. If you need to, write down these symbols before you get started. Good luck, have a great day.